Well, hello, everyone. Welcome to this beautiful stream about the launch of Peacekeepers. I hope that you are having a beautiful day. And today we are going to tell you how to use the platform and also what it is for us, Peacekeepers, and we are going to have a beautiful and amazing panel with amazing guests to speak about what is to use peacekeepers, but from different perspectives. For the perspective of a client, of an arbitrator, of a infrastructure like Morph, and a partnership and integration like HATS protocol. So I hope that this event will be of your liking. I am a little nervous today, but I hope that everything is okay. Anyway, in case you don't know, my name is Maria Castillo, and I am the founder and the CEO of Peacekeepers, which is a dispute resolution system for blockchain. But it is more than that. It is more than dispute resolution, and you are gonna know why. Now, for starting this event, I want to also introduce the other person that make this happen and my partner in crime of all of this time that we are doing peacekeepers. I want to introduce to the stage to Mbu Divine. So, hello, Mbu.
Hello, Maria.
Hello. So Boo is my co-founder and he is the CTO of Peacekeepers. So yes, I mean he's the one that makes this happen actually. Everything that has to do with technology, it is him. So I am super proud of everything that he has accomplished and also of all of our team. So welcome, Boo. How are you?
Thank you. I'm fine. Actually, I'm glad to be here. It's been nervous though, but this has
Yeah,
to
I
happen.
know. I know, right? We usually don't do live streams, but this is good.
Yeah, yeah.
So, Bo, let's speak a little bit about how we started Peacekeepers, because I mean, I guess you don't know, but we started Peacekeepers in the Chainlink hackathon. So that's how Bo and I met through that. I mean, it was just a pure conversation on Discord that I said, I want to build a dispute resolution system, a mediation system for blockchain. Who wants to join me for the hackathon? And then Boo joined me. So, what did you think about it? Why did you say, okay, this sounds interesting?
Okay. From the project description that you gave, I just fell in love with the project idea. And also, one thing that was really outstanding is because you told me that you had people on your team, but when they heard the idea, they left. They were saying that it's something impossible. And I told myself that this cannot be impossible. That this is something that we can build and we can make it come to life. That is what really made me to to join the team.
Yes, oh my God, yes, I remember now. That is totally true. I remember thoroughly that, like, uh, I was building this team and I said to them, like, what was everything about? And, but then when I actually started to make them more directions on what mediation was and what I wanted to do, yeah, everybody left. Everybody said that that was impossible in the tech side. Like we couldn't do that at all. So we
Exactly.
brought. So then when you stayed, I was very happy. Then we had some other amazing team members also, like Monoma and Steve. I believe it was his name, and we built a really nice demo. We didn't win the hackathon, But
Yeah,
what I won was actually an amazing friend and one of the best co-founders that I could have asked for. Somebody that actually loves this vision just as much as I do. So I am very happy that we could continue into this journey. It's been quite a long time. We've been working on this for uh for more than 2 years, I think,
more than
from
two
the
years.
start of
Hackathon.
the thinking and
Yeah, that was
everything.
June 2022. The Chainlink Hackathon in June 2022.
Yes, exactly. But I am super, super, super happy of everything. And also wanted to say that one of the main reasons about peacekeepers is not just having a business around mediation or around arbitration or around the dispute resolution in general. It is more about having justice and to have uh, equity and equality for everybody in not just in Web3, because for me, in my own view, Web3 is just the first step, and then everything else it is what is following, because we need this, and now we have the technology. Now we have blockchain to help us with this. So what I really want to do is to build a true justice system for everybody, and to make it as equal as possible, to not make people that have a lot of money, for example, to have justice, because that is something that happens everywhere. It doesn't matter um what kind of country you are in. It could be Mexico, like where I live. It could be anywhere in Europe. It could be France. It could be Japan. It could be Thailand. It could be anything. Everywhere, when you have money, you have justice. And that is something that I don't want. And that I know for sure that blockchain is going to give us that tool to go to that justice. Now, I might be delusional and that might be a very big goal, but I don't care. I am here for the long run. I am here from 20 years on. I don't really care about that. And I am here to really protect not just my freedom, but your freedom too, like everybody's freedom. And I really want justice to be accessible for everybody. And I think blockchain and peacekeepers can do that for everyone. And I am so, so happy that I have somebody like Jumbo uh,
Thank
to
you.
to come to this journey with me, and to everybody also here. And I don't know if you would like to just say something about what peacekeepers means to you, uh like in general. You can speak from the heart. I know it's been actually have been hard, it hasn't been an easy journey. So please, what does peacekeepers means to you?
Okay, thank you. To me, it means a lot. Something that tomorrow, when we want to look at Google in Web theory, we talk about peacekeepers. Like my co-founder rightly said, it's not just about the resolution on chain. There is more that we are going to bring into this platform, and that is it. I just want the platform to reach at one point where everything that we envision is in it. Is really a platform that is going to be a game changer when it comes to Web theory, because right now we can all agree that Web theory, the onboarding process is a bit stiff, but we are also bringing this platform that to make that a bit easier for people to migrate from Web 2 to Web theory. And like Maria rightly said, the journey has not been an easy one. Um, s- to work on a project with people around the globe, People come, people leave. I had some devs who joined the project and they never did any tasks on the project. Some did not even reply the next day after joining the team. So it has really been a tough journey, but with the love that I have for this project and the team that we have now, I know that the project is going to go very high.
Yes, I totally agree with you. And you know what? Something that we are actually going to help people with is that exactly. It's people coming and not doing anything to their projects. It's people just seeing the project and not contributing in any way. Like when you join a DAO and you don't do anything, you don't vote, we are actually going to help people with that. We are going to help them with the onboarding. We are going to help them with everything. So it is so important that we walk this path. We are not coming to do this and to give a solution of something that we haven't experienced. We actually have experienced this. So we know that it is something that we need to change, and that is why I'm so happy about this, because it is actually our own mistakes and our own failures, and even us being scammed or whatever, because I know everybody has been scammed in Web3, unfortunately. It is something very common. So we want to stop all of that. We want to stop uh, everything that is bad happening in Web3, but also to onboard people from Web 2, to make them realize that Web 3 is amazing, that blockchain is amazing, and that not everything is scams, but that everything is this is the future. This is how we are going to bring justice and equality. So I am super happy about this. I am super happy about peacekeepers,
Yeah.
and I am very happy about what the future will bring us to everybody. And I think you think the same, Bo.
Yeah, definitely. I definitely do.
Okay, that's amazing. I mean, this being a little bit of an intro on how we met, how everything started here at Peacekeepers with just a hackathon, just an idea, and now it comes to the point that we can actually show you the platform and how does it work. So I am very, very, very happy, and that you are going to be able to actually join us through our wait list for starting to join the platform, and to be also arbitrators, to be mediators, and to see how everything works. But I will speak a little bit more about that because we are also going to have a little contest. So please stay tuned for that. And now I am going to say goodbye to you, Mbu, for now. Thank you so much for coming. We are going to see you again because when we go to explain the platform, you are coming to the stage again. But for now, I will say goodbye to you, and
Thank
thank
you.
you. Thank you for telling us about our journey.
Thank you too.
Okay, everyone. So I am looking at some comments here. Such an important point. We need justice to be accessible to all people. Thank you, Alex Bernard on YouTube. I totally agree with that. Hello, Abdur. Good evenings. I'm from Bangladesh. Welcome. Christy, well done, Maria. Hello. Thank you. Thank you, Dan. And hello, Elizabeth. Thank you. Thank you for joining us. So right now we are moving forward to one of the best parts of this stream, besides the platform in itself. And this is a panel of the four perspectives about why using peacekeepers is a very good idea, actually. So I am going to introduce everybody one by one. So first of all, we have Kara Howard. Hello. She is
Everybody,
from Hello. She's from a project called C3, which she's going to be speaking about that in a little bit. She's the founder of C3, and she is the perspective of a client. Now I am going to introduce David. Hello, David. How are you?
I'm
He's
great.
the founder of he is one of the co-founders of HATS Protocol, and he's going to be the perspective of an integration with peacekeepers. Then we have Maggie. Maggie is from Morph, and she is going to give us a perspective of an infrastructure like a layer two. And finally, we have Mark. Mark is going to give us the point of view of an arbitrator for our platform. So let me start with you, Cara. How are you? Can you say a little bit about what C3 is and who are you?
Yes, hi everybody. Thank you so much for having me here today. And I want to first say big congratulations to you, Maria, and team. I know this has been a big effort. This is a big vision. And I see how dedicated you are to this. So I know as a founder, that's absolutely what it takes. And it's really an honor to be here and celebrate this day with you. So hi everybody, I'm Cara Howard, and I am the founder of C3. And C3 is an organization focused on driving diversity, so diversity, equity, inclusion, the whole area of DEI, as well as accessibility in Web3. So these are all kind of the factors that we're looking at within Web3 and how we can drive more inclusion, stronger representation of underrepresented groups, and a big aspect always within DEI is financial inclusion. So those are the aspects that we're working on here in Web3.
Okay, good. Thank you. Thank you so much about that. And I truly believe that diversity, inclusion, everything is super important for the Web3 space. So thank you. David, hello. Can you introduce yourself, please? And
Yeah,
explain a
hi.
little bit of what HATS protocol is.
Sure. David Ehrlichman, one of the co-founders of HATS Protocol. HATS is roles and permissions protocol for Web3, and roles bundle many things: the responsibilities and commitments of that role in the organization or the system, the permissions, the actual real permissions and authorities that come with that role, which include permissions and authorities across the internet, maybe ability to spend funds, access to different communication channels or workspaces or documents, and so forth. And then accountabilities. How does a collective actually hold individuals and groups accountable to following through on the commitments that they've made, and be able to revoke those permissions automatically, manually, or automatically if needed? So we'll dig in deeper into specific use cases there, but that's the basics: roles and permissions layer.
Good. Thank you. Thank you, David. That is going to be amazing within the Peacekeepers platform, and we are going to speak a little bit more about that in a second. So, Mark, can you please introduce yourself?
It's great to be with everyone. My name is Mark Cianci. I'm a partner at Israel David LLC. We are a boutique litigation shop. We specialize in a variety of high stakes business litigation matters, including arbitration. And I have a pretty big Web3 litigation and Web3 advisory practice as well. So I'm really excited to think about some of the potential intersections between what I work on day to day as a dispute resolution professional and some of the power and promise from this Peacekeepers platform.
Thank you. Thank you. That's amazing. And of course, Mark is going to be one of our arbitrators. So I am very, very excited about that. And Maggie, please, can you intro yourself and explain a little bit of what Morph is?
Yeah, definitely. So super happy to be here today, Maria, and also very happy to see like the big day for you as well. So hi everyone, my name is Maggie San from Morph Layer 2. So we're essentially like a new EVM Layer 2 and trying to become and also establish the first global consumer layer within the entire Web3 ecosystem. And the funny thing is, actually today is also the same day as we're rolling out our mainnet. So it's like super happy to be here, and we have two like a big day coming together. So very happy to share more later to everyone as well.
Yes, definitely. I'm actually super excited. Morph is going mainnet, guys. I am very, very excited about that because that means that we are gonna go mainnet pretty much at the same time. So that's beautiful, and I know we are going to do an amazing, amazing partnership. And speaking a little bit more about Morph, Maggie, how, because I know that more focus on consumers, and that is something that Peacekeepers is also focusing on. We want everybody to join Web3, and I believe that is also Morph's vision. So, can you explain to us how an layer two can actually enhance this experience for consumers?
Yeah, definitely. That's actually like a great point. I think like everyone here understands like a little bit, I'll say like very expert into the entire Web3 ecosystem. But like think about this. As of now, all the major ecosystem, including layer one, also layer twos, everyone's been like competing for the same pool of users and also the same pool of liquidity and also capital for a long time. But the truth is, if you take everyone knows, like take a comparison from the entire DeFi market versus the traditional finance market, only accounts for less than 0.1%. So that's why for us, when we talk about we're trying to become the first like global consumer layer, that means we're trying to bring in more users and also liquidity and also pools of capital from traditional side, which is Web2. So basically, we're really focusing on creating this ecosystem that allow the builders who can have a safe haven to build a user-friendly dApp, allow everyday user to utilize for different use cases. And basically, for like even my grandma or my mom can utilize it without understanding about blockchain, without understanding what is ZKEVM, what is parallel chain, what is like bridging. So that is like the fundamental of like where Morph sits and also how do we position ourselves. And regarding the advantage, so from the technology underlying, we're very similar to all the other layer twos, but basically we're combining the OP and also ZK rollup together with like basically aggregating all the advantages and also disregard the disadvantage. So basically, we allow user to withdraw money within 2 days at a much lower cost compared to all the other chains. And also, we also offer this like decentralized set of sequencers to allow for like fast settlement and also more fair settlement across like layer one and layer twos. So those are the things I want to briefly touch upon and give it back to you, Maria.
Okay, I mean, all of that is amazing. That's why also we partner with Morph because of how incredible L2 you are building. I think it is amazing, and that's why it is so important for peacekeepers to come to every L2, not just the regular ones, but to actually go to after the consumers. And I want to actually see, Cara, your point of view about this because you are going to be one of our clients, and I want to know what are your expectations about this platform, like a blockchain-based dispute resolution platform. What are your expectations with this?
Well, I love this question, Maria. And, a lot of the things that we focus on, as I mentioned, are around inclusion and accessibility. And so that's kind of how I think about peacekeepers and its intentions, which you shared really at the end of the day are about justice. And I heard you mention many times about equity, democratization, and blockchain is enabling this, but it's just really the tool to make this happen at scale. So I would imagine, as you're developing things, what would support these goals of inclusion and equity and accessibility would be, the education components very early on that are, easy to understand for people. I'm excited about the opportunity to be, on the platform and engaging in different ways with different persona types, like maybe as a client, as we talked about, but also as, I'm not I'm not a lawyer. I don't see that in my path, but I certainly have some areas of expertise, so I would love to be able to be, as an example of one person, but for many of us, and how we can be more participatory in this justice system and see different voices, different, perspectives, people that actually have expertise in certain areas that could be qualified to mediate versus, how this current justice systems, it could just be someone, off the street that has no expertise in certain topics, judging, sitting on juries. So I think this is going to be fascinating. So I would say, yeah, the education piece right up front, where possible, understanding how to come on chain into the platform and participate. Minimizing as many barriers to entry for that process is always important. So looking at, different languages and even just different cultural norms that exist globally. These are all kind of things that are, complex, but when you set those intentions and guidelines from the beginning and continue to iterate them, those values are then embedded into the platform itself. And, I think it's going to be fascinating to see how we can maybe kind of evolve some of the scary things about tough conversations and potential for, all these, legal things that you want to avoid, and tone it down a little bit and maybe, like, no, this is actually a place for more mediation and arbitration. And here we are using emotional intelligence with one another and with guides to support that. So, and then, qualified mediators and arbitrators, I imagine that's going to be, really important. I wanted to mention, Maria, I didn't hear you share it yet. But I don't know if you all know here, and then the audience may not, so if it's okay to share, but this was a big deal for Maria. Some news came through a couple months ago, where I'm also based in Mexico part-time, and her platform, as an example, the Mexico law was written, and this peacekeepers could be utilized as an alternative to the court system. So I think that was huge. And then we saw Maria was on the national news a month or so ago. So I want to mention that, because if you're very humble, not, sharing that is a big deal. And that's totally an example of how I think a lot of us want to see blockchain-enabled projects like this have the opportunity to really, take shape and disrupt some systems. So I think that's kind of the key points I would look at.
Oh, I mean, that's amazing, Cara. And yes, you are totally right. The law changed here in Mexico, and that's true. And now we can actually use platforms like Peacekeepers to have legally binding resolutions. So that means that people from Web2 can also use Peacekeepers. And they don't have to go to court to have a legally binding resolution. And so this is why this is so important, and we are moving forward for everything. And yes, I was on national TV. That was very, very exciting, very interesting. I was quite nervous, but it was very, very, very cool. And it is amazing what Web3 is going, guys. It is amazing. So speaking about like arbitration and everything that comes with it, Mark, what do you see like are going to be the most challenges or opportunities for arbitrators in a blockchain-based dispute resolution system?
Thank you. Well, maybe I'll start with the opportunities and then pivot to the challenges. So In terms of opportunities, having a blockchain-based arbitration system is, I think, the natural progression of the advantages of alternative dispute resolution that we've seen private litigants track towards over the past 50 years. And I'm trying to come at this both from a global perspective and from a US perspective, which is where I conduct most of my practice. I'm a US licensed lawyer. But first, internationally, I think what we've seen is most of the world has gotten smaller relative to each other. So instead of people operating in their own little silos in their own little pockets, we see much of the activity operating on a cross-border basis. The advent of blockchain and the wide adoption of blockchain has only accelerated that trend. And so most blockchain-based ecosystems, most blockchain-based programs and protocols do operate on a cross-border basis. When things have a cross-border dimension, there's a natural question around, hey, what law governs? And more relevant to this conversation, what dispute resolution framework applies? And so parties have tried to find a sense of private ordering so that they're not disputing the dispute. And that's what arbitration in general has facilitated, and that's what blockchain-based arbitration can really help enhance. So by not disputing the dispute, what I mean is we're not going to have a fight about where we're going to have the fight. We're not going to have a fight about what law is going to govern under the fight. Now, under traditional alternative dispute resolution principles, parties have been able to, through private ordering, agree that this international arbitration tribunal is going to have the ability to address the dispute, resolve this dispute, and they've been able to even agree on certain provisions thereunder, such as here's what the discovery is going to look like, here's the form of the award, etc. However, much of the arbitration architecture that has been pre-wired in the current commercial system is itself subject to heavy challenge. I was reading a decision just last night that came out of the Ninth Circuit, where in Ninth Circuit Court in the United States, a court of appeals, where the court said, we know that the consumers purportedly entered into these arrangements, but we are not going to endorse or adopt these arrangements because they're outside of what our judicial system will countenance. So there's oftentimes an inherent question around, is there actually assent amongst the counterparties to these jurisdictional or dispute resolution provisions in the underlying agreement? Having a blockchain layer helps get around or more accurately cut through a lot of those challenges, because blockchain could, if implemented correctly, give an inherent level of transparency, an inherent level of authenticity, an inherent level of user buy-in in every space along the dispute resolution field, such that people are not able to really dispute the dispute itself, but can get to the substance. So that's a challenge. I mean, that's an opportunity. And then really quickly, a challenge, I think, is just greater sentiment and greater ammunition towards adoption. I think this meeting right here, this kickoff, is a very strong signal that in certain pockets, in certain spheres, there's a high level of adoption, there's a high level of endorsement. I think the challenge is going to be to build that out amongst the alternative dispute resolution community more broadly. And there are some people who have a vested interest. Maybe they have currently a very robust practice of arbitrating in a certain kind of way. And so this blockchain-based arbitration could potentially provide a disruption, helping them understand that this is not a threat, but is actually an opportunity for them to transition and morph their practice and actually help more people and gain greater commercial reach in the process. That is what I see as a challenge, but I also think it's not a challenge that's insurmountable. It's a challenge that's very easy to overcome given the right efforts by this community.
Yes, I think you are totally right, Mark. I agree with you. That is a challenge, but I think we are going to go through it. And there's a lot of also opportunities. And like you said, in every country, I think we are going to have amazing opportunities because every country has their own laws and their own jurisdictions. But like you said, the world has become smaller and smaller. in everything, that comes to technology and to bring us together. So I am very excited about the future for that. And now that we have these three perspectives, I want to speak with you, David, because it is very important. Or how do you think? Why do you think it is so important to have clearly defined roles and permissions in a platform like Peacekeepers? Because we have very different perspectives, as you can see, and very different roles.
Yeah, absolutely. Just to reiterate, Hats is the roles and permissions layer for Web3, and roles bundle many different things: the responsibilities and commitments to the role, the permissions and authorities that role, and then the accountabilities. We actually hold people accountable, especially when we're coming together, as equals outside of these hierarchical systems. And roles exist in the structural relationship with other roles. And we see roles as sort of the basic unit of structure in an organizational system. And so why is it important to have clearly defined roles and permissions in a platform like Peacekeepers? In a dispute resolution system, I do think it's really important to have transparency, clarity of roles and responsibilities for the different actors in the dispute resolution process. A way to grant people, like the mediators, the temporary permissions that they need to fulfill their duties, which can then be toggled off manually or automatically once the dispute is over. And also a way to have real accountability all through the process, both for those involved in the dispute and for those mediating the dispute. And happy to share some examples, but I'll pass it back to you for now.
No, that is perfect. If you have an example, please.
Great. Maybe I'll share my screen. I think it's a very visual tool, so it's much easier to understand it if we get the visual here. So I'm going to share 4 kind of primary use cases for HATS protocol. Here we are. Secure,
Yes.
safe multi-sig management. So with HATS, you can actually grant and revoke multi-sig signing authority for individuals or committees or councils. And that means that you can also grant and revoke the ability to make transactions or to have certain powers when it comes to smart contracts and so forth. Second, automated access and onboarding. So we can actually automate access or provide access to things like workspaces or documents, going from just being able to read the document to be able to comment on the document, to be able to edit the document, to voting power, actually granting or revoking, for example, the mediators, the ability to vote in whatever that dispute is based on their role as a mediator. And we can also do that based on certain conditions. So, for example, you must sign a certain agreement before you then have that voting power, you receive those permissions or receive access to those workspaces. That may be, an agreement when it comes to the folks who are entering into the dispute resolution process or for mediators themselves. And then the third one I'll look at a little bit is elections and the types of accountabilities that we can connect to roles. And so I'll show each of these just briefly. So this is Questbook. They manage a large grants program for the Arbitrum ecosystem. And you can see each of these cards, these are what we call hats, but they're roles. Hat is just the ERC 1155 modified NFT. That's the technological piece in the background that enables these roles. And roles can be held by individuals or groups or the collective as a whole. So this is Questbook's structure to manage this grants program. And they have 4 different domains that are allocating funds for the Arbitrum ecosystem. And they're using hats to grant and revoke multi-sig signing authority to really secure this process and ensure a really transparent grant system, but also a really secure one, so that there is a particular program manager who has to sign off on transactions made by elected domain allocators. So this is just to show that HATS is a way that you can actually grant and revoke signing authority on multi-sigs while still those accounts are in control of the organization itself, not just the people on the safe, which otherwise is the case. The second one I look at is the providing access to documents and workspaces and voting powers and things like that. So one of the things that we can do is you have to sign an agreement in order to claim a role and then receive all the permissions that come with that role. This is an entry agreement for Lex Clinic, for example, and folks sign this agreement, and that when they sign the agreement, they receive the role that then gives them access into the Lex Clinic's workspaces, communication channels, and whatever other types of permissions you want to associate with that role. So you can see they have 93 people who have signed this agreement and entered into the permissions of this particular role. We also just integrated with Unlock Protocol to provide a subscription-based or a membership fee-based role. So if there is any cost, to the Peacekeepers mediation process, you could use this, charge a membership fee or a basic subscription, and people then retain the role and the access to the workspaces or voting power or whatever it is for as long as they keep that subscription active. And HATS is really meant to be highly interoperable with all the different tools and protocols across Web3 and even Web2, where token gates are possible. HATS works out of the box with any token gate. And so this is an overview of the different types of powers and resources that can be accessed by a role as represented as a hat. So things like you can grant control over specific Ethereum accounts, or as I said, signing authority on safes. You can actually stream compensation directly to roles. So this could be a way for peacekeepers to stream compensation to the mediators for as long as they are in that position and fulfilling their responsibilities. Voting power in any type of, in Snapshot or in Governor Bravo contracts, through Tally and so forth. But also, like in Snapshot, the ability, you could grant a specific role, the ability to push proposals to Snapshot. And so this is a way to then maybe give mediators the ability to put proposals forward and vote on specific proposals, or give them voting power in whatever system Peacekeepers uses. Also, communication powers, the ability to post to shared Farcaster accounts, or access to Telegram channels, or access to specific roles and channels in Discord, or push chats. And then finally, read or comment or write access in workspaces like Charmverse, or access to specific documents in Fileverse, Forms and Dform, and Google Docs as well. And the Fileverse one is interesting. You can combine all these different pieces to say, you have to sign an NDA, for example, in order to get access to certain proprietary information or documents. And that can all be handled automatically. You can verify exactly who has signed that agreement and at what time, and only give them the permissions when they do so. Last I'll show is the accountability side of it. How do we actually hold people accountable and following through? And how can we tie the roles and powers they have to specific conditions that you want to set? So this is Purple. This is a DAO that's promoting Farcaster ecosystem. They have a security council over here, which is an elected group, and they give them signing authority on a safe that just allows this security council to veto malicious proposals coming through the system. Only veto. But the Security Council also has the power to set election terms for two other really critical roles in this DAO, the Grants Chair and the Revenue Chair, which are both compensated roles. And the Revenue Chair in particular is interesting. They have signing authority on a safe that gives them the ability to perform their role. They also are directly compensated through their role based on their ability to increase auction value in the Purple NFTs over a 3-month average. But most interestingly, I think, is that this role is elected by the collective through a joke race, which is a type of on-chain voting system. And you can see the top vote getter in this election. Well, I guess it's not loading, but if it did, you would see that it is this person here. Only the top vote getter, or however many voters you want to say in this election, are able to hold this role. And the moment the election term expires, the role and their permissions, including the signing authority and the safe, are automatically revoked. And it doesn't have to be joke race. We've already integrated. This works with Tally and Governor contracts, works with Snapshot, with decent DAOs. And so, really broad kind of flexibility and composability. And there are all different sorts, this is the last thing I'll show, all different sorts of ways that you can automate role granting and role verification, and power granting and power revocation. Tying it to specific token holdings or NFT holdings, people must maintain a certain threshold of tokens in order to maintain the role. The moment they drop below that threshold, the role and their permissions are automatically revoked. Reputation system, maybe you have to maintain a certain reputation score in the Peacekeepers ecosystem in order to be eligible as a mediator. And the moment you fall below that threshold, you can no longer be a mediator, but if you rise back, then you can. So that can be automated, using the on-chain data. Elections, as I mentioned, but also expires after term limits. Provide allow lists that are managed by some other entity. And maybe through the dispute resolution process that Peacekeepers mediates, that's actually what enables somebody to then to hold specific roles or permissions. And then finally, if you really want to increase accountability in sort of a financial way, you could require that people stake some certain amount of tokens in order to hold a role, which if they do not actually fulfill their commitments or do something bad, their stake could get slashed by some arbitration panel, and they'd receive their stake back if they complete the role. And as I said, signing an agreement, I think, is a big one too. So a lot of different possibilities here, and really excited to see what Peacekeepers does with the protocol.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, all of this is amazing, and this is one of the things why I wanted you here, David, and also to have a HATS protocol to partner with Peacekeepers, because this is not just going to be for Peacekeepers as a company, like you said, for mediators, arbitrators, and everything, but all of these things are going to be actually uh, for everybody. Each community is going to have the ability to do their own rules, for coming to their community, to having their own roles. So we are not imposing anything. We are not saying you have to do this or that. Because this is not about that, because then we will be a centralized system, and we don't want that. Being a decentralized platform is one of our main goals, and I believe HATS is helping us a lot with that, to make people say, okay, you can make your own decisions, you can make your own votes, you can make your own rules, and we are just going to facilitate that. So that this is why it is so important, and it is so important to have rules and to have permissions, because as you know, there is really no accountability in DAOs right now, and in the Web3 space in general, there is really no accountability. So this is a very step forward there. And with HATS and with the legally binding resolutions in Mexico, and with our arbitration and mediation, this is going to be so easier to bring this to everybody. So I am very, very excited about what the future of this integration will be. Obviously, we are working on that, and we are going to expand as much as we can, everything step by step, to bring everything, all of these features to every community, so you can do uh, everything that you want with your own community. So you are truly free, so you are truly decentralized. Now, I want to actually maybe go with Kara for an example of what do you think it would be a case. What would you want to use Peacekeepers? Oh, sorry, wait. Okay, you were
No
muted.
problem.
Sorry.
Okay, that's all good. I was really excited to see David's demo there. We're actually using HATS too and building out our HATS tree, and seeing the kind of the grant accountability use cases there. That is something that, as an example of something that could be useful with utilizing Peacekeepers. is in the whole topic of accountability, as you mentioned. It can be not, Web3 with everything being built and flying the plane while we build it, it's, it can be a bit messy and disorganized and unstructured. And there's a lot of challenges in the grant space specifically because some of the tooling hasn't been ready. There's KYC checks that can be, barriers for certain demographics from emerging markets. And then there's just a lot of bureaucracy with certain organizations that can create, massive delays for people. And so I had one experience, for example, with an organization I won't mention, but it's a very large blockchain, and we were part of a grant round with 32 winners. And the anticipation from all of us was, okay, we knew we had to do KYC, but that we would have a normal payout time. I don't know, there is no industry standards. This is something that I think, again, would be really cool for something to bring to peacekeepers, where the standards don't exist, they can become standard. And I love what Mark said, and he was having me think too about the platform, like, once there's like the legal precedence is set and everyone's kind of understanding what the laws are or what the standards are, then we can move into more of the deeper aspects of things. And if they don't exist yet, well, what's happening, in general payouts for employees, they're not paid 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 months later, which is what we were paid. So that created a lot of, problems for teams that were part of this grant process. And what we found that there was not really anywhere to take this issue. And it was like, well, I don't know the laws, about what could have happened here. I don't know if it needs to go to court, but either way, whatever it is, I think it should be brought up into, discussion and mediation to the very least. And, sharing these things. Also, what I am appreciating with peacekeepers is that I'm assuming some of the things will be public so that we're all learning together. It is accountability for all parties, right? So it's like if one organization has had a challenge with their grant program and came to a resolution with peacekeepers, and now is using HATS protocol to hopefully not have these issues again, then that's a standard that can be shared across organizations. So those kinds of things I think are maybe interesting, and it's hopefully we keep this in the peace realm, the peacekeepers realm, but yeah, these are important topics.
Yes, these are very important topics, like accountability, as you said, as David said, and you mentioned something about transparency, and I want to ask Mark about that. Do you think blockchain can actually bring impartiality and transparency into an arbitration process?
Yeah, that couldn't have been a better segue, Kara. Thank you for that and for the question, Maria. So the answer is very, very clearly and wholeheartedly yes. And maybe I can expand on that. So I'll actually pick up on this transparency piece that's been already referenced. Right now, the court system, the traditional court system in the United States and in most countries is open. So unless a party moves to seal something or to keep something from public view, it will presumptively, the issue and the substance will presumptively be public. In the tendency to move toward alternative dispute resolution methodologies, there has resulted a loss of transparency, because the default mode of operation for most alternative dispute resolution platforms and protocols is to keep everything entirely confidential. What that then results in turn is a loss of precedence, a loss of information sharing, a loss of being able to build up a superstructure of prior results and prior outcomes that can then inform going forward behavior. Now, there are certain reasons why parties pre-contract into confidential arbitration. Maybe there are some trade secrets that need to be protected. Maybe there are other countervailing reasons to oppose transparency in certain contexts, but in my view, to the detriment of the overall process, traditional alternative dispute resolution mechanisms have been default entirely confidential, even when that's not necessary from the perspective of building broader justice. So having peacekeepers come in and say, yeah, if the parties want to have a specialized procedure that is entirely confidential, we can discuss that. But at a baseline level, things will be transparent, things will be open. I think that is going to be very beneficial for alternative dispute resolution more broadly. And I think some of the pre-existing formats, non-blockchain based formats of our alternative dispute resolution that will see some of their market share being eroded by a transparent system will borrow the transparency from the more transparent system in order to keep up. So I think it will be, all things considered, a very good development for the dispute resolution industry. I also want to touch on the issue around certainty, finality, predictability, and confidence in the outcome. And again, Kara, your example of not knowing when the award was going to come in, not knowing when the grant was going to come in, creating a lot of uncertainty and challenges at an operational level. Because Peacekeepers is a blockchain-based dispute resolution system, it will enable highly predictable, entirely predictable outcomes. So, for example, if as part of the pre-wired dispute resolution arrangement, both parties have to escrow certain collateral, which will be what the award will be generated from in the event of a dispute and in the event of a determination, both parties would post that collateral in escrow, and it won't be an escrow that anyone will be able to fight about. It will be an escrow in a smart contract that will only be released pursuant to certain parameters and protocols that will be built right into the smart contract. And so parties will know, when I win, I'm getting paid within seconds. Right now, in traditional alternative dispute resolution systems, most award collateral, there usually is no award collateral, or if there's conceptual award collateral, it's not escrowed, it's not made available for instantaneous release. And so parties can win an arbitration and then only then see the arbitration challenged at a federal court level. Those very rarely succeed, but they take time to overcome, and only then seek to start the collection process. And in the meantime, it's possible that the counterparty's liquidity has evaporated such that the victorious party in the arbitration will not be able to achieve justice at a practical level. So having things pre-orchestrated and with a high degree of certainty built right into a smart contract, I think provides an important layer of predictability, certainty, reliability that the parties that are looking to have their disputes resolved will be very grateful for.
Yes, I mean, that was amazing, Mark. It is exactly uh, that what I was thinking, and we are going to bring certainty too to people. And like Carol was saying, there's a lot of uncertainty when there's grants involved, when there's money involved, I believe there's always a degree of uncertainty about am I going to get paid? Am I going to work for nothing? And that happens not only in the in grant solutions, but also in every DAO, in every community. That's something that it's very common, unfortunately. And I am so happy that we are going to help with those situations. And also another thing that Carol was saying, it was about mediation. And for me, also mediation is important because we then bring this human aspect, because we don't want to lose this human aspect, even if we have a technology that can do everything automatically. Um, I think if we can join both things together, the technology with the human aspect, we are going to have an amazing thing to um, go beyond just transactions, but to actually learn about these transactions. learn what is happening, to learn how to maybe know how to solve a dispute uh, with just dialogue. And for me, that is amazing. It is something super important. But also, I totally understand that people just need very quick dispute resolution, and that's why we also have arbitration, and we also have other kinds of uh, things with voting and that are more efficient in that way, um, in terms of time. But mediation can be as efficient just with dialogue. So let's not lose our human aspect, even if we use blockchain. So I mean, this has been amazing. I just want to finish maybe just with Maggie, just 2 minutes. Can you tell us a little bit on why an L2 wants this? Wants to partner with a platform like Peacekeepers.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you, Maria. And also, I think like the past like 60-minute discussion already shared the importance of Peacekeeper, and also like why you guys is like a very significant partner within the entire Morph ecosystem. And also from my personal level, I really want to highlight a couple of things. So the first one is I joined crypto around like back in 2019, just before DeFi summer. And I actually lost a lot of money during DeFi summer. And like that's like a really great lesson for me, but also get me to be more interested in this. But during that time, I actually saw a lot of like community arrangement to like go for projects and asking for some things and trying to do some disputes, but there's no official tool for us to utilize during that time. And I think that is like when Maria mentioned to me about the dispute platform that basically streamlined the entire process. I was super impressed because at the end of the day, a lot of the users and also maybe your friends who come from Web 2, they're so scared to get into Web 3 because like a lot of people think there's so many scams, there's a lot of problems. So they don't want to deal with that. That is like the reason because we don't have like a platform like Peacekeeper to help us to basically initiate all this like dispute arbitration like automatically. That's why I think this bring a lot of value to the entire ecosystem. And the second thing is, as for Morph, we're super consumer centric. So we're gonna have a lot of like consumer dApps across payment, loyalty, GameFi, SocialFi, and tons of that, and also e-commerce. So for all of this step, I think this will also grant a lot of security and also reliability to the users when they know we also have a dedicated dispute platform with live on Morph. So they can just like one click on that and then initiate a dispute directly. This is like the first of the kind type of the platform ever existed onto the Web3 ecosystem, because like Peacekeeper is only not only for Web3 but also for Web 2 as well. So I think you guys basically position as like a perfect bridge as like Web 2.5, basically connecting people and also ensuring them that whenever something bad happened, there will be outcome coming from this, and also someone or something is gonna be hold accountability for the results. So I think this is a really important, and also super happy to see like you guys been working with Has Protocol. Has Protocol has been like a leader in the space, so super happy to see this coming along successfully.
Yeah, thank you so much, Maggie. And yes, it is so important that we bring this to all dApps, and I am very very happy to bring Peacekeepers to all dApps at Morph. I believe your layer 2 is incredible, and I really love everything that you are doing, and I know this partnership will be really great. So I want to say thank you for everybody here in this panel. This has been amazing. Thank you so much, Mark, for your insights in arbitration and how everything is going to work here at Peacekeepers in that term. Thank you, David, for telling us how everything is going to work with rules and permissions. And thank you, Cara, for your insights on how people that will use Peacekeepers will actually use it, and with your perspective in inclusion and with everything else. And I know and I feel for your struggles with grants and everything. And I know Peacekeepers is going to be a great solution for you too. So thank you so much, everybody, for coming to this panel, for coming to Peacekeepers, to believe in this project, and I hope that we can keep uh, to keep working together to make Peacekeepers amazing, because Peacekeepers is going to be built with the community. It is going to be built with everybody. I want everybody to build it with me, not just doing unilateral decisions, but actually bring everybody to to build this. So thank you so much for coming.
Thank you all. Bye bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Bye.
Bye.
Maria.
Congratulations.
Okay, guys, so that was the panel with some amazing guests. I know, like all of these perspectives, I hope that it brought you more clarity on how this can help everybody, really. How this can help any integration, any doubt that it is on an L2, like more people struggling, like Cara with their grants or payments. Anybody that wants to also come and be an arbitrator and be a mediator can also come to Peacekeepers. And also, like everyone has a role and everybody is going to be important at Peacekeepers. That's why I wanted to have this panel, so you could know how we can help you, because that is the most important about Peacekeepers, to help you as a consumer, as a person using Web 2, as a person using Web 3. So right now we are going to actually present the platform in itself. We are going to give a little tour of it. Maybe not all features, because then we will be here for another hour or two. But we are going to present the how you can build a community at Peacekeepers, and then how you can go to a mediation. And for that, I am going to bring to the stage again my co-founder, Boo. Hello again. And one
Hello.
of our and our uh, one of our team members, Lawrence. Hello, hello. We are going to present the platform. So I am going to start presenting the screen. Give me 1 second, because sometimes for some reason it doesn't work, but I hope it works right now. Yes. Very good. All right. There we go. So I want to say something before we begin. Right now, we are in the beta version, or maybe even alpha version of Peacekeepers. So please bear with us if something doesn't go as smooth as we hope. We really hope that it goes smooth. But also, I want to say that we are going to have a contest, because, okay, sorry. Right now, what you are going to do is that we are going to put on social media a link for you to go to a waitlist to use the Peacekeepers platform. Now, why are we doing this? Because we want to give you the best experience that you can have. And that means that we are going to bring people in batches. So not everybody will go to the platform all at once. We really want to bring your community and to see what you want and to have your feedback, etc. So that's why we are going to have a wait list right now. We are going to put it on our social media. Don't worry. We are going to share it in everywhere, so you can come to our wait list. And we are also going to have a contest, a really, really amazing contest. So for the best platforms, maybe you are going to have you are already an established platform and you have a lot of disputes, maybe you have a lot of problems, maybe you don't have accountability, or you don't have people actually getting involved in your DAO, you can tell us that. And after a period, we are going to choose three DAOs or communities, and we are going to give you an exceptional package in which we are going to help you with your terms and conditions, with all of your hats that you need to have, all of your roles, all of your permissions. We are also having an amazing partnership with Bright Gov, which is a voting system for blockchain. So we are going to build your voting system too, or if you already have one, to enhance it. So all of this package, where also with peacekeepers helping you, having your dispute resolution and all of your rules, you are going to have one of the most amazing DAOs out there. That it is a structure that has rules and permission, that has accountability. So you know you are going to be certified by us to give this incredible opportunity to your users. So you are going to be able to bring this and say, hey, I am certified by peacekeepers to bring that we are actually having great rules and great everything. So you can come on board to our community. And also, you don't want to miss to be certified in peacekeepers, because we are having a lot of great things in 2025, like a marketplace. And I won't say more than that, because then Boo probably is going to is going to kill me. But we are going to have an amazing marketplace. So trust me, you want to be certified at peacekeepers, and we are going to give this to three communities all for free. So you are going to enter the contest by just going into the waitlist and to just fill the form. So please fill the form. I am going to share with you right after we finish this transmission, and you are going to be able to come to the waitlist and to start using peacekeepers. So now let's go to actually show you how we can use peacekeepers. So first of all, you have to connect with your wallet. Now we are right now in a testnet, but we are going in mainnet very soon. Don't worry, you are gonna know when we go to mainnet. I would have loved to use more of testnet, but because they are actually there's some changes for them to also go in mainnet, we are going to use Polygon for this test. So you can sign in with your MetaMask. Right now, it is free to connect. We are thinking about having subscriptions, but for now, you can just go for free. So you connect your wallet. Right now, I am so sorry. I don't know why it's not showing, but my MetaMask, it is popping up, and I have to sign in with the wallet. Once we are signed in, and you can see here that we are on Polygon, and that we are live with this green dot. Now, what happens if you actually go, for example, let's say I go to Morph? Not everything remains the same. You keep your chats, you keep your dashboard, you keep your dispute resolution, you keep everything. So we are building this to be as multi-chain as possible. Now, for creating a community, the first thing that you need to do is to come here and to create a dashboard. In this dashboard, you are going to give it a name. So let's put a name here, Maria DAO. I want to be Maria in this dashboard. This is going to be my username. The community description can be whatever you want. It really doesn't matter. You can change it later on. And then the language that you are probably going to use. We are going to save and continue. We have created successfully our dashboard. Now, here is for adding members. You can add members through their wallet, and you can add as many as you want. For adding a lot of people, you can download a template that we have where you can just copy paste their wallets and they will be brought automatically. Or you can do it manually one by one if you just have one or two people. After that, you can then select who is going to be your admin. Now, this is going to change once we have the more integrations with hats. Right now, we just have admins, but we are going to have much more than that. So don't worry, you are going to be able to have any role that you want to have. But for now, you can have your admins. So you select a dashboard that you want, and automatically the person that does the dashboard is the admin, but you can select anybody on your member list to be the admin. And then we create the server for the chat. So Maria DAO. You can put a profile picture and everything if you want to do so. So now we have our chat server. Here, you can have your general chat. And you can also have private and public chats. So let's say that I want to have a chat with my developers, but I don't want everybody to know about it, right? I just want a certain type of role to come into it. So if you click on private and create the channel, then when you add members, they can be or they could be only of a certain role, or they could be people that you want in that channel in particular. So you can have more of a control of it. Now let's go to the DAO, to the dashboard in itself. Now you can see here in the dashboard what you can have. You can have your profile with your biography, with the language that you usually use, or the languages that you speak, do your time zone. Also, if you are a verified individual, that we are going to have that very soon. And all of these disputes that you might have in this particular dashboard. You can leave the dashboard, you can chat, or you can edit your profile. Now, for every profile, you can, for every dashboard that you belong to, you actually can have the profile that you want. So if I want to be Maria in Maria's DAO, that's great. And if I want to be Maria in the Peacekeepers dashboard, that's amazing. But let's say that I will belong to a chat that is about Taylor Swift, and I want to be Swifty123 instead of Maria. Then that means that I can be Swifty123 and not Maria. Uh, so that brings you these pseudo anonymous transactions, because then nobody will actually know that who am I. So you can have any username that you want for each dashboard that you belong to. You don't have to bring your name, or you don't have to bring anything. For each dashboard, it is different. Like you can see here, I am Maria PK on the PK in the Peacekeepers dashboard, and I am just Maria in the Maria DAO, and I can have a profile picture and everything. Also, because I am the admin of the Peacekeepers dashboard, I can see who belongs to it. But if you are not an admin, you can't see it. You can't see who belongs to it, or their wallet addresses, or anything that belongs to them. So so that is going to be really good. Now, before we go to the actual mediation for you to see, I want to see some of the questions that we have right now. Which languages are available so far? Oh, right now, the interface is in English and in Spanish. So if you speak Spanish, you can also use everything on Peacekeepers. Can different individuals and admins use different language within the same DAO, chats, mediation, arbitration cases? This will depend of each individual community and the rules. Some communities don't allow that. They want to have only English, for example. But if your DAO allows it, yes, definitely. And you are gonna see now when we do the demo of the mediation that you can actually ask for a mediator that speaks a particular language. Amazing. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much, Lizzie. The language can have just one language. Oh, okay. Yes, that is good to know, Mbu. Yes, that is true. The dashboard can have just one language for now. Are we going to access a recording? Yes, this is going to be recorded and we are going to have it on YouTube, on our YouTube channel. So don't worry, Elizabeth. You are going to be able to see it for sure. So now let's go to an actual mediation. So right now, let me change it to English. I am, for this demo, a mediator for the Peacekeepers platform. So that means that I can mediate. But now I am going to let Mbu to share his screen and to Lawrence because they are going to show how it is to be an actual party to a peacekeepers dispute, and I will be the mediator in this. So please, Mbu or Lawrence, if you can share your screen so people can see how it is to go to a mediation if they are a party.
Okay. Uh, Thank you for that intro of the site. I'm sharing my screen. Okay, so like Maria rightly said, I'm going to create a mediation. For now, we have it as a mediator case. This has to change. So because right now before next month or so, we are going to do another release having jury and arbitration. So also there's something that Maria did not elaborate on. So yeah, you can as well create a case from a dashboard. So this case will be within that dashboard, and using HARTS protocol, which we are integrating, the admins can pay for that case if you have a particular HARTS that the admins created, that they should be able to handle the payment for your mediation. Then they are going to do that, or you can do it yourself. But for personal cases, you are the one that is going to pay for the case. So let me create a new case. So when creating a case, we enter the title of the case. We can let's just call test case life. Yes, but it can be anything. Like if you have an issue with somebody, you can put that at the title. Then the description of the case, what the case is all about, what the mediator will review, and so on. So I can just put what the case is all about. Yeah, and then you see here you can select preferred mediator language. Let me take English, but and also we have already updated, just that we did not want to update this platform before today. But you can as well choose multiple more than one preferred language, and then the time zone as well. I can take mediator. Sorry, Maria, your mediator is on CTT, right? CST.
Yes, 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 it is.
Okay, then now we have should have DAO experience here. You can put that yes, and then we create the case. So when the case has been has been created. You can see the mediator itself. If you click here, you can see a summary of the case. You have the case ID, which is case ID 5, the title of the case, the description of the case, then the parties involved. So right now, we have just myself as party one, party two is still empty, and mediator is still empty since we have not yet requested for a mediator and so on. You can see the case status is open, payment status is pending, mediation fee. We have on Polygon chain, we have USDC DAI. So here we can pay in any stable coin. So we use stablecoin as the means of payment, and on all the chains like on Morph we have USDT, while on Arbitrum just USDC, and preferred language and so on. So we can open the chat and that is it. So the way we get the second party to join the case is actually quite simple, because normally if I have a problem with Lawrence, I'm going to know how to contact him. For now, we don't get we don't collect wallet addresses. All you have to do is sign up via MetaMask. Once you sign up via MetaMask in the platform, you get access to the platform. So now what I need to do is I need to send the case ID to Lawrence, and as well as my wallet address to Lawrence for him to join the case. So I'm going to do that now, and then Maria can share Lawrence's screen. Let me send this to him on the chat, on the private chat rather, on case ID 5. Okay, Maria, you can share Lawrence's screen.
Yes, of course. So now we
Hello,
have
everyone.
Lawrence's screen now.
Yes, so after having the case ID and the wallet address, you come here and you click on join case. Here you simply input the case ID and the first party's wallet address and take join. So here you have a message, confirmation message saying you have joined the case successfully. So under your cases, you should have the case opened here, and you have this indicating you're requesting for a mediator, meaning you want to request for a mediator. So if I take request mediator on my end, I should have the possibility of either sending a request, or before that I can view the mediator's profile to have information on his early availability, have information on his experience, that's if he passes the criteria of DAO experience, his time zone equally. So we can equally send the request either from here or from here directly. So if you take send request, you have this message. Are you sure you want to send a request to the mediator and all of this? So you take send. So here you have the request sent successfully, and we would wait for the mediator to approve the request. Over to you, Maria.
Yes. So oh, sorry. Why? Okay. So now I can go to my cases, the mediator cases. And here we can have, I have already this test case live, and I can reject it or approve it. For viewing more about it, I can look into it. This what is the case is about. So here I could have seen like every detail about this case, and maybe I can think, okay, maybe this type of case is not for me, so I can reject it if I want. And before I approve it, what I can do is to open the chat And then I can open the chat for this mediation in particular. So that means uh, that then I can speak with the parties beforehand. Like, okay, let's think a little bit more about that, about how everything works, etc. And so here is the case 5. Hello, uh, I'm your mediator. And here I can actually explain what mediation is, how does it work with me, like for example, my style of mediation, because every mediator has a style. Some people are more like into a coaching style. Some others are very just there to give a little bit of guidance. I can speak about that with the parties before I actually approve the case, to know more, a little bit more about everything about the case, about the parties. And something that maybe you didn't notice, when you go to my profile as a mediator, you are going to see that my name is on there, because you can actually be anonymous, because maybe you don't want to say if you are a woman, you don't want to say your name, you don't want to give anything. So what you are seeing on your profile is your work credentials, but not necessarily your personal information as a mediator. So that is something that we can do here at Peacekeepers. So here, by being in the case, again, we can speak about it, we can speak about the case. So let's say that I say, okay, yes, this is something that I can mediate. It is nice to meet you. You understand what a mediation is, etc. So then I can go and approve the case. So yes, you have accepted to mediate the case. You are sure? Yes. And now the case has been approved. So now I will go to you again, Mbu.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes. And we can see your screen too.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes. Can
Yes,
you
we
hear
can hear
us?
you.
Okay, good, good. Thank you. So after approving the case, like you can see, yeah, we we can have the message Maria wrote, the one I responded to. So we use the chat platform to communicate. You see, Maria created the chat, but I'm already part of the chat, and as well as Lawrence is already part of the chat. So we use this chat to see how things are, and so on and so forth. So this is the Peacekeeper dashboard, which Maria did not show, but yeah, this dashboard is open to all, for all to join. So that is just an aside. Okay, let's go on. So now what I see here is assign mediator, since Maria has already approved the that she can mediate the case. If you notice, all the parties addresses are now available. So if I click on assign mediator, I have this pop-up saying, are you sure you want to assign mediator this wallet address, which is Maria's to this case? And I say yes. So you see, it shows mediator assigned successfully. Once we have that, we go to the cases. What we see here, it tells us what to do, waiting for mediator to set the mediation fee. So all I can do is I can just open the chat, and I let Maria know that I'm waiting, or we are waiting for the fee. How much we discuss? So we use the chat to discuss and know when the mediator is expected to take an action and when the parties are expected to take an action. So Maria?
Yes. So now I can go to my chat and say to the parties, okay, I am going, the mediation will be $100, right? So then if we are all on agreement, let's say that that is good for every party, then I go to my cases and I set the mediation fee. So for case ID 5, I'm going to put $100. And the said payment for case was successfully set. So now we are waiting for the parties to deposit the mediation fee. So back to you, Mbu.
Okay, thank you. So we do have two options to for payment. We have full payment and partial pay- payment. For full payment, it means that I've decided to pay the full mediation fee, and for partial payment, it means that as the first party will pay and the second party will also pay. So for now, I'm just going to take full payment so that we go fast. And you see, it's already showing you the stable coin on that chain. So we just take this and we take pay. And it tells you that please confirm the transaction and wait for it to complete. No, you will do two transactions because we as on the screen. Can you see my MetaMask?
Yes, we can see it.
Yeah.
Okay. So I've approved that payment. Now I need to wait for it to be done on the chain. Then I now do the confirmation of the transfer. So I'm
Yes.
confirming that transfer. Okay. This is what I noticed recently. I will have to do it again. It's an internal JSON RPC error. I think if you have been programming lately, you will notice that these test nets they have an issue. So I just need to let me refresh my browser and do that again. But I do know that on mainnet we are not going to have that internal JSON RPC error. It's a testnet stuff due to the RPC that is on the test chain. So just bear with me. Let me redo the process.
Yes, I think everybody understands that dealing with test nets can be a little bit tricky sometimes. So yeah, don't worry. And that is good that it shows because then uh, if anybody will have that, then they know what to do. But yes, when you use this, you are going to use it on mainnet, so you won't have that issue at all.
Yeah. So let's wait for it to go through. You can see the it's processing. So let's just give some few minutes. Okay, done. You can see paid successfully. So now if I go to that case, it before it was cases awaiting approval, signing, mediator, and payment is now under my open cases. You can now see it here. So yeah, I've already paid for that case. So what is now left for the mediator to take action. But right now, you see, it's an open case. It means mediation is going on, and that will be on the chart. So everything, but we are having a partner which we are going to integrate video and audio if very soon. But for now, everything is on text. Maria?
Yes. So after that, we go to the chat. We start the sessions. You can program the sessions within the chat to know when you want to have them. If you want to have them asynchronous in an asynchronous way, or if you want to have them live, it really depends on the people, on the parties, and the mediator to get into that. After that, let's say that everything came to a solution, or maybe not even a solution. So now, as a mediator, I see here this test case. I can either open the chat or I can close the case. For closing the case, I can say that if it was resolved or unresolved. Let's say that for this example, it was resolved. So then I say yes to close the case. You can't see my MetaMask, but it just popped up because I need to sign on chain that it is actually closed. And once I do that, then we have to wait for that. And right now, afterwards, it is going to show that I need to right now here in my closed cases to view the agreement. Oh no! First, we need to wait for the parties to approve payment. Yes, because maybe this mediator. I was a mediator and I was a valid OC1. Maybe I didn't even show up to the case or anything, and I just closed it. And the parties are not happy with it, so the parties can approve or disapprove the payment. So I am going to let you see that from Boo and from Lawrence. First, let's go with Boo.
Okay, thank you. So if I go to my cases, yeah, we have test case live, we have approved case payments. So the way this works is the two parties need to approve that that case has been done, and we have this in our terms and conditions and all the likes. But I'm sure some of you have the word like, what if the party that did not win don't want to approve the payments? Now with the either the mediator or the first party or the second party can get to the peacekeepers administrators, and they explain what is going on. So, and if that is the case, peacekeepers have the right to approve that payment, because if the way we are all humans. If I feel or I'm not favored in a case, or I am on the wrong, I might not want to approve the case, because unless the two parties approve the case before the mediator can be paid. So right now, throughout this process, though the parties paid for the case is in our escrow, is until the case has ended and the two parties have approved the payment before the mediator gets paid. So when you click on approve payment, you have something explaining what is happening. I take yes. So that is it. Payment accepted. So now we have to go to this second party.
Okay, Lawrence, you are on.
Okay, so we just forgot mentioning. Let me bring us back a little bit to the chat section. Maria, in the case of the one-to-one session, mediation session, or asynchronous and asynchronous session, there is the option equally of having a direct chat with the mediator. Yeah, you could put in a direct chat with the party here, so it's not appearing on the on the general chat section between the various parties. So you can chat directly with each party.
Oh, that's great. Yes. Thank you, Lawrence. Yes, that is
So that was
totally
just
true.
an aside. So here we have to approve the payment.
Okay, I think
Sorry, let me
your
just reload my page.
yes, okay.
Okay. Yeah, I thought it was at my end. With
Yeah, no.
okay, his screen is lagging behind.
Seems to be taking a little bit more time.
Yeah, but basically he's going to do the same thing I did if you are unable to see his screen, but it's the same thing that I did earlier.
Let's
Um, seems like your browser is loading. Can you stop it and refresh it? Or
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
oh, sorry.
Yeah, it seems like there's maybe an internet connection issue or yeah, but it is okay. While you go through that, I want to show something. Uh, here, if you click on all my cases,
Oh my God.
you can actually
Sorry, guys.
see. Yeah, no, don't worry.
Yeah.
You can actually see all of as a mediator, all like a little dashboard on the case status that you have. That you have one open case, two closed, uh, and decisions also like pending decisions against, in favor, etc. This is coming for arbitration too. So this is a little dashboard that you are going to have. We are going to add more things, but for now, you have a little bit of a stats on how you are doing. So I think we are good to go now, Lawrence.
Yeah, we are. Yeah, we are good to go.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So from here you have approved payment,
Oh,
which we do. Payment accepted.
Okay, Maria. So you can. Okay, good.
yes. So now if we go back to my cases, then now I can withdraw, view the agreement, because obviously an agreement has to be signed in this case because it was resolved. So that means there's an agreement that the parties already signed. They are going to sign it via Hatch protocol, and everything is going to be on the platform. So don't worry about that. so I can see the agreement, because the agreement is going to be done by me because I am the mediator. So I have to do the drafting of the agreement, and then the parties will sign it. After all that, I can withdraw the payment. The mediation fee is $100. I am on Polygon, so I can withdraw either on USDC, USDT, or DAI. I'm going to use USDC. I can withdraw the payment. Okay, I have to be on the right chain. I need to have enough to pay the gas fees, and I want to withdraw. Now my MetaMask popped up, and I can just confirm the transaction, because I have enough for, okay, yes, I don't have enough gas fees to making the withdrawal on USDC. So that means that I can't withdraw the payment right now. Let me check that again.
Yeah, or you can send me your wallet address. Let me send you some Amoy.
Okay. Let me, if not, let's do that.
Okay, but I think
Yes,
I I,
yes,
I
it
don't
is like
know.
that.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is a, a case in which you definitely need to have gas fees, as you can see. Um, if you don't have, then you will have that error that you just saw about, that you are not going to have um, enough gas fees to withdraw your payment. So right now, I am going to get some payment so we can do that.
Okay. And just to be on the safe side, you can as well just refresh your browser. Hopefully, it's not digesting arithmetic signal.
Yeah, it could be. So I will refresh. Yes, because I don't know if you know, but Polygon changed from Matic to Pol. So there's been some issues
Oh,
around
yeah.
that. So yes, and now you don't use Matic, and yes, I think that's also why there's been some difficulties with it. But let's try it again. USDC, withdraw payment.
Yeah.
Yes. And I mean, I'm sorry you can't see my MetaMask, but it just popped up. And now my withdrawal has been successful. So that means that in my wallet right now, there's that amount of um, the
Yes.
mediation fee, uh,
So
except
the
for,
problem was,
oh, sorry, Mbu?
yeah, the problem was not the gas fee. The problem was that Jason, that internal Jason RPC on testnet, because Polygon is not that expensive as well. But I've already sent. I just sent you extra. But that's how the withdrawal works.
Okay, yeah, so that's how the withdrawal works. Now I have that money in my wallet. We are going to get as a platform as a small fee for the amount. So, for example, in this case, I didn't get like the 100 uh, in its entirety. There's going to be a little fee for the maintenance of the platform. And I think that's it. So now we can see in my cases that I can only see the agreement if I want to, and I have my closed cases, and that's it. As a mediator, that is all my job. And now the parties have an agreement that they can use and they can view. This agreement is going to be storage on IPFS2, so it is going to be there on chain forever. So that you are not going to lose it. And that's it. That's how mediation works at Peacekeepers. And I think it is quite a smooth process. I think maybe it could you might think it is a little bit elaborated, but once you do it, it is actually not that hard. It is actually just a few steps that you need to do, and that's about it. So as you can see, just with a few clicks, you can have mediation at Peacekeepers, which is amazing. I feel this is going to change a lot of things, and we are going to have arbitration too very, very soon. So we are going to have more and more features, and this is just the beginning. This is just the beginning for us. And I hope you liked this little presentation about the platform, that you liked everything about what Peacekeepers is. And just to remind you, we are going to have a really nice contest in which we are going to really help you set up your DAO or your community with roles, with permissions, with a voting system, with the dispute resolution system, everything you are going to have. And you are going to be a verified community at the Peacekeepers platform, which will have a lot of perks in the future, especially for the marketplace that we are going to have. And please go to our waitlist and sign in so you can enter the contest. There is going to be three winners that we are going to announce uh, in probably in a couple of weeks. And you are going to be able to see everything about the contest and how you can enter the waitlist in a post on our social media after this live finishes. And I really want to express my gratitude for everyone here, for everybody that will come to Peacekeepers, arbitrators, users, our team members at Peacekeepers. Thank you. And I hope that you feel the same excitement as we do. We are very happy that we can finally reveal how everything works. We could finally reveal um, our baby, our project. And thank you so much for coming. We will have more streams in the future to let you know about other features, uh, other partnerships, everything. We are going to be in constant communication with you guys. So thank you for coming. This will be the end of the stream. So thank you. Thank you for making this presentation. Thank you, Alex, for staying here to the whole process. And I will hope to see you getting into Peacekeepers. So thank you. Thank you so much, everybody. And let's keep the peace on Web3 and Web2. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you, guys. Bye.
Bye bye.